Last day of March today, of course, in One Piece Treasure Cruise, we are going to get the announcement of the upcoming Metal Exchange lineup. So I went in the game, went to read more, to see all of the information, the available legends that are coming, and at what prices they are coming. And this is what I witnessed. The 600 medal thing with Super Tandem Law was not just because Law is a very good unit and a Super Tandem character. It's here to stay, apparently, because someone at Bandai headquarters once again is like, you know what, we are being way too nice with this medal exchange. Like 600 medals can come out of thin air. So now we have normal units in the 600 medal price range. They are not Super Tandem, they are not Super Sugofest. Yes, they are Super Type and Super Class, but who cares? It's V3 Marco and Olin. They came out together, they are not special in any way. Not that Super Tandem Law, to be honest with you, is special because he's pullable in majority of Sugos, but at least he's one of the best Super Tandem characters in the game. He is also the first ever Super Tandem character to make an appearance in the Medal Exchange shop. These two characters are not worth 600 medals. They should 100% have been 400 medal units. But then, what happens? This is probably one of the most shameful things I have ever seen in my time playing One Piece Treasure Cruise. Tesoro, Legend Tesoro is 400 medals. Tesoro! The OPTC team is so out of touch, it is insane. Tesoro came out 4 years ago and is now 400 medals next to Whitebeard vs Shanks. To put this into perspective, V3 Katakuri, one of the first 4 Super Type units, is 250 medals. He came out years after Tesoro. V2 Sanji, who came out in the same year as Tesoro, is 150 medals. Tesoro, the last time or one of the last times he appeared and was available for purchase with medals in the Medal Exchange, was available for 150 medals. And now all of a sudden, out of the blue, Tesoro, because apparently he is good in Pirate Rumble, or at least that's what I read, I don't touch the mode, it's garbage, but people say he's good in Pirate Rumble. So now, because he's relevant, he's 400 medals. So all of a sudden greed takes over, as per usual in this game apparently, and because a unit is relevant, we don't care about the structure we have for the Medal Exchange all this time, that units come out in prices based on the release time. Now, because he's relevant, he's 400 medals. And now, because we actually have the grid tier of 600 medals, we can put characters that are relevant perhaps in the 400 medal price range. It is so insane that Tesoro is 400 medals. It is even insane to me that characters are available for 600 medals. Do you understand that 400 medals, even though the Medal Exchange is a free-to-play player's opportunity, or generally a player's opportunity to get their White Whale legend, the legend they want but can't pull from Sugos. Yeah, that's fine and everything, but 400 medals is 40 multis. And you mean to tell me that Tesoro costs 40 multis? Dude, I don't even care if he's the best legend in Pirate Rumble. 40 multis for Tesoro. It has to be a joke. There's no other way I can explain this happening. And then, over the Medal Exchange lineup info announcement, we get the Monster class with 3 mysterious characters, 99 stars of difficulty. Essentially, the April Fools, funny faces, One Piece class. Normally, this would be cool. You get some funny characters, you also have to play like a funny quest for April Fools, we also get the Usopp free multi. It's whatever, it's an One Piece Treasure Cruise tradition at this point. But timing is everything, and another reason I am saying that the One Piece Treasure Cruise team is out of touch is this. They don't understand that we as players have been asking, begging at this point, for more content, so we have something to do other than the Trash Point event with the garbage boosted lists that you put out and you said you don't like and you want to remove, but we are almost halfway through 2023 and you have done nothing and communicated nothing about the point event. Then of course we have the treasure map and the Kizuna. And for the Kizuna actually, even though over there in the One Piece Treasure Cruise team headquarters they don't like grindy content, they will actually make Kizuna harder, especially the super boss. They will reduce the ticket rewards, but not adjust the box rewards at all. Pretty sure they think, especially for an anniversary period, that is very fair, doesn't need a lot of grind, but God forbid we put out an arena. That's grindy content right there. We don't like providing that to our players. At this point, I can't be the only one that feels like they are just stretching it to see how far they can go until we react in a big type of way, so then they maybe just promise changes and then maybe actually delivering. Arena Sasaki was damage control, we know this by now, and the only reason we got Arena Sasaki was because the content creators actually interviewed Yoshi. And Yoshi was like, haha, yeah, we're gonna provide more content, there you go, one arena. Never to be seen again as content, because it's not gone. No, we were just taking a break. It's too grindy to play arena. Here, play treasure map instead. Do you remember the community letter, by the way? Which I guess it is safe to assume also damage control alongside Arena Sasaki because of those damn content creator videos. It is kinda funny because then they were like, thank you for the feedback, we are listening to feedback, even though we say all the time we are going to communicate better with the player base, but we never do. We literally got a community manager, aka a social media manager, who made a couple of videos and we promised better communication, but we also forgot about that. The funny thing to me is that they also forgot about their collection archive, because recently Arena Sasaki was added. Arena Katarina Devon, the last arena before Arena Sasaki and officially the end of Arena alongside Arena Katarina Devon in my opinion, has never been added. You cannot obtain Arena Katarina Devon if you are a new player and you missed the release of her arena. One of the best arena units in the game, mind you, not available to get. Fun fact, just like they probably forgot how the medal exchange shop is supposed to work, they probably also forgot how their collection archive is supposed to work. We get 3 free-to-play units a month, 1 Kizuna, 1 treasure map. They are only available through their respective shops. That's fine. The third free-to-play unit is the point event free-to-play unit, which technically should become available in the recollection archive a couple of months after its release. That's not happening, because the recollection archive seems to not be operational anymore. They forgot about it. Some free-to-play point event units were being added in the recollection archive, but that all of a sudden stopped. Do you know what the last point event free-to-play unit that got added to the recollection archive is? Free-to-play Q Sasaki, who came out March 29th, over a year ago, and we haven't seen a single point event unit get added into the recollection archive since. Maybe the point event free-to-play units are also limited, just like majority of the legends that are getting released. Since we're here, let's talk about more funny things. First, the lack of information on the guides released on the Twitter page. Super Boss Kizuna Garp. Second stage had normal attacks only debuff. Was it mentioned in the guide? No. Was it ever corrected after the release of the guide to say, oh, you know what, it also has now? No. It wasn't. We also never know the color of the stage 2 miniboss, either in treasure map or Kizuna, and it doesn't seem they are actually aware of it to let us know of the color of the miniboss. Another thing, do you know the graphics that they release when a new legend comes out, letting us know of their captain, special ability, and generally their abilities? These are cool, right? They are. But when the 2 most recent legends got announced, Killer and Hawkins, Killer's captain ability stated that he doesn't only give an attack boost through his captain ability like every legend does, he also gives an ore boost, just flat 5.25 times, which is obviously super broken. But it's also wrong. And I get it, obviously mistakes happen, that's not my problem. The funny thing to me, for that situation specifically, is that the tweet with Killer's info was released March 23rd, and the correction on Twitter for that wrong description in his captain ability was released 6 days after, March 29th. Imagine if you're a new player, you take these things at face value, you're like, you know what, this seems very good, I will pull for killer without even checking his ability in-game. Especially because a lot of people probably talked about it on social media, so they should know within a day or two. It's just a pretty bad look, even though it's technically a little thing, I guess. Another funny thing, the new point event. We don't get official guides for these point events, we have 0 stamina, so we as players just have to guess, to figure out the debuffs on our own. And most of the time that is technically fine, because you can see the icon for threshold and damage reduction, you know what the debuff is, you know what units remove it, right? So you can build the team around that by testing in the 0 stamina. There are amazing people in Reddit as well that will tell you actually, because they play tested the quest, what the debuffs are. This time though, because there are HP requirements for the preemptives in stage 3 and stage 5 for the final boss. And if you don't meet those HP requirements, extra debuffs appear. We don't know the HP requirements. There is an HP threshold where if you have your HP you are safe, around 50% we are guessing, but we don't know the exact range. It might be between 10% and 60%, it might be between 20% and 55%. We don't know. No one from Bandai has even lifted a finger to let the player base know the exact HP threshold we need to be in for that quest. I am almost every day getting questions from players that don't know what's going on. Why am I getting more debuffs in the final stage that you do in your video, in your playthrough? And that is absolutely understandable. You cannot blame these players for not understanding what is going on, because the company that actually released the quest did not even bother to explain it to anyone. The game was like, here, new quest, have fun, buy the new badge, see ya. And sometimes Bandai adds character dialogue during the preemptive, so they let you know if an interruption or maybe a requirement is present. For example, don't boost your attack against me because this is not going to end well for you. Of course, indicating there's an attack boost interruption. But this time, the only thing we get from the main boss is EBBBB, Zakikiki. We get a laugh and then they just destroy your HP bar and add a billion debuffs if you don't know what's going on. Drake and Apu in the previous stages also do not warn you or say anything to you. I checked. But after all this talk and discussion, I still cannot comprehend how Tesoro is priced at 400 medals in the medal exchange. The One Piece Treasure Cruise team is out of touch and someone really needs to wake them up because One Piece Treasure Cruise is going downhill fast.